Okay, thank you for listening into our second video, working through how we're going to adapt over this next several months where we don't have as much court time as we'd like. In my previous video I talked about two things that I think are really important. Firstly is your strength and conditioning programs. It's absolutely vital that we continue with those. There should be no excuses over this period of time to not have all of that in place. The second thing was we talked about our feel for the tennis racket and things we can do to assist us with the feel for the tennis racket. And today I wanted to talk to you about shadow swings. And that's essentially the rehearsing of my swing, okay? And why do we do it? Well, when we rehearse our swing without a ball, we train the groups of muscles that produce that shot, we train the neural pathways that work to produce that shot, and the fact that there's not a ball in there, I don't think it's as important as some might suggest. A shadow swing is a fantastically good training tool. If you are looking at technical change, you can incorporate this into your shadow swing. For argument's sake, if you have a Western grip and you wanted a semi-Western grip, you could get that semi-Western grip and you could rehearse your swing through that contact point with that semi-Western grip, and you could really become familiar with how that works through the contact point and put yourself in a really strong position when you come back out on the tennis court. Okay? So when we talk about the how on shadow swings, I think it's important that your attention to detail is there. If it's a sloppy shadow swing with a poor contact point, I don't believe you can go forward with that. But if it's a attention to detail shadow swing through contact and out the other end, you're probably putting yourself in a very strong position. Okay, so the attention to detail with what you're doing is really important. If we take, for argument's sake, a forehand, check your grip. Make sure the grip is correct. Make sure the shape of the swing is correct. Make sure the contact point is correct. And make sure you're balanced on the follow through. There's a very good argument for the very slow and easy shadow swings, and also for something that's a little bit more real life in pace. So there's a variety of ways you can do it, but I don't think this should be excluded as a method to go forward during this period of time. The other thing you may consider with shadow swings is the variations of the shots you may need to play. So we spend a lot of time working on the ball that's right there with shadow swings, and that's fair enough, we should be doing that. But you can also examine the variations of the shot and how the body feels with variations of the shot with a shadow swing. I think the perfect example is an end range forehand or an end range backhand. So we might be open stance, end range with the racket, and we're going to feel the racket through the ball and out the other end with a target in mind. Okay, so what we can do is practice that, feel how the body feels as you execute that shot. You'll feel a different sort of physical feel behind the ball in a shot like that. And we can use shadow swings to become familiar with those types of things. So please don't discount shadow swings. I think they're a really, really valuable tool. Let's make sure we use this time over the next couple of months, and when we're ready to train again, we hit the ground running. Thanks.